welcome to Riga in Latvia for this FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 qualifier between Ukraine and Georgia. These teams take to the floor in the final window of this first qualification round. The ultimate goal, claiming one of those 12 European qualification berths that are available for the World Cup in Asia next year. Here's how the group standings are prior to the game. Georgia sitting pretty at the top. A 3-1 record. Spain perfect at the moment with 3-0. Ukraine a 1-2 record. And Group G is propped up by North Macedonia with an 0-4 record. Game against Spain, North Macedonia tips off 90 minutes after our game here. Understandably, we are in neutral territory, although this is a Ukraine home game. It's taking place in Arena Riga in Latvia, understandably so, due to the conflict in Ukraine at the moment. As the Georgian team are introduced here in the arena. They've looked good so far in qualification. The double over North Macedonia and a 5-point win over Ukraine in the reverse of this fixture. Heavily on their veterans throughout the campaign. For some of those veterans, this might be their last run at a World Cup, so a little bit of additional motivation for those players, that's for sure. As for Ukraine, they've certainly put in some big performances during what must have been some of the most challenging months of their lives. I'm sure they'll be fully channeling that national spirit here today as they come to the floor. Flag wrapped around their shoulders, representing their country has maybe never been so important for them as it is at the moment. I'm sure they're going to receive a warm welcome from the fans here in the arena. So as it stands, Georgia have already secured their spot in the second qualification round. Ukraine, not so yet. And a win tonight wouldn't even secure that for Ukraine. It's going to go down to Monday's game against North Macedonia to absolutely, definitively push them through to the second round. They're certainly favourites for that at the moment, but they'll need a couple of big performances to make it reality. We'll now take a break in commentary to have the national anthems, first for Georgia and then Ukraine.
National anthem from Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Ukraine is performed by Ukrainian singer Victoria Pritulyak.
Ще не вмерла України ні слава, ні воля. Ще нам, браття молоді, усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці. Запануєм і ми, браття, у своїй сторонці. Душу й тіло ми положим за нас. нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду.
Well, if that didn't give you the chills and get you up for this game, I'm not sure what will. A wonderful rendition there of the Ukrainian national anthem. Set the scene perfectly for this big game between Georgia and Ukraine. We are just moments away from the start of the game, under 5 minutes to go until tip-off now. Let's have a look at our officiating crew. It's Zafer Yilmaz, Petra Harusa and Josip Jurcevic from Turkey, Czech Republic and Croatia respectively. Strong officiating crew for what should be a good game of international basketball. Two teams with plenty of talent on their rosters going to battle to make it all the way to the World Cup in Asia next year. As I say, Georgia already secured their spot in the second qualification round. That man there, Shermadini, has certainly played his part, featuring in all 4 of the previous qualifiers, as has several of the players on show. Vereshvili and McFadden alongside Bagradze have all been there for all 4, and Jincharadze as well. As for Ukraine, they're a game behind. They've only played 3 so far, but they've had a relatively consistent roster across these qualifiers. 5 of the players on show today have been in all of the qualifiers so far. 3 players picking up their first taste of these World Cup qualifiers in today's game. 3 minutes to go. Here's the starting 5 for Georgia. It's Shermandini, Sanadze, Okolishvili, Shengalia and McFadden. And that is a very, very strong lineup for Georgia. Some absolute superstars on the floor to start the game. Plenty of talent coming off the bench as well for Coach Zuros. He's not short of experience in that roster as well. Primarily a veteran roster, only 2 players under the age of 28. So we make that 3 players under the age of 28 within the 12-man squad. As for Ukraine, relatively young roster. Only 4 players above the age of 25 for Coach Bagatskis. And back on his home soil, the Latvian coach. Mihailuk, Petrov, Postovi, Zotov and Sidorov. Starting 5 for Ukraine. Certainly worth looking out for Postovi and Petrov, as they are the 2 players averaging double digits across the 3 games they've played within the qualifiers so far. As Coach Bagatskis calls in his team to give them some final instructions. 4 years at the helm now of the Ukrainian national team. 17 years as a coach. Had a successful career as well, 10 titles as a player. As we now enter the countdown to tip-off, under a minute to play. And I can take the opportunity to remind you to download the FIBA World Cup app, available free on iOS and Android. Let's jump into this huddle and listen to Coach Bagatskis.
Начинаешь с Усика здесь со мной. Поставь хороший заслон. Артем с другой и Петя потом во время пик-н-ролла. Хороший пин-даун. Пространство для прохода, для всего. Гай, ребята, агрессивность, физикалити и наслаждаемся баскетболом.
Let's see if we can jump into Coach Zolas's huddle as well. See if we can listen to what the Greek coach has to say to his team prior to them stepping on the floor. Familiar face of Shengelia as he takes off his shooting shirt and gets ready for the game ahead of him. No compromising player. Shengelia averaging 16 points and 13 rebounds. And that was in his one appearance. He picked that up, and that was against Ukraine in the return of this, where Georgia came away with that narrow win, to say. Just a 5-point win for Georgia, so this one really is anyone's game. You can say maybe Georgia have the slight edge on paper. As so many people say, the game of basketball isn't played on paper, it's played on hardwood. And we're underway here in Riga, Latvia. World Cup 2023 qualifier between Ukraine and Georgia. So much to play for both of these teams as they look to fight their way to the World Cup in Asia next year. Mihailuk pulls up for the three. That one's short. And instantly Shermadini grabs his first, and I guarantee not his last rebound of the game. Sanadze now. Shengelia, drains the little jumper. Looked like he was in automatic already on that one. Zotov, inside to Postovi. He gets it to go. Looking for a gap, nothing there at the moment. Fadden now. Uses the Shermadini screen. Shermadini's got the mismatch he wants. So's McFadden. McFadden loses the handle, though. Good defense by Ukraine. And straight away, coast to coast. Mihailuk goes in, gets the score. Ukraine take their first lead of the game. Quite a physical encounter already. Sanadze now to Shengelia. Shengelia drives the baseline, just strength as he gets the score. One of those players, and you just can't see many people being able to muscle him out. He gets focused on where he wants to go. If he gets that half step on you, usually ends up in a bucket. There's the little right hand floater off the glass for Sidorov. The net gets caught up. That one's freed. Here's the move from Sidorov. Goes in amongst the trees. But still gets the score. Shengelia now will bring it up over the half. And this is the benefit you have with having a player like Shengelia. He can do the rough stuff under the basket. But also quite happy playing a point forward position. Shermadini is fouled in the low post by Artem Postovi. That's a move by Postovi. Fadden now got the mismatch, quick first step. That's an easy score for Thad McFadden. How many times are Georgia going to use that pick and roll between McFadden and Shermadini to create really difficult matchups for Ukraine to deal with? Postovi sets the screen. Shot goes up, no good. A little bit flat, that one from Zotov. Shengelia now in the low post. Goes to Shermadini. Awkward looking form Shermadini has from range. A little bit flat, doesn't get the score. Mihailuk goes inside. Nothing there. And that's an attempted save by Zotov. Throws it off Shermadini's legs, but it bounces back off him. And that is, I think, the definition of unlucky for Vitaly Zotov. Sanadze now to Shengelia. A little bit stagnant, the Georgia offense. Shengelia, baseline, Shermadini gets rejected, goes back to the right hand, and the old school hook shot pays dividends for Shermadini. Sidorov now. Plenty of movement from Sidorov on the outside, back to the low post. Oh, and straight away we have a battle of the hook shots as Postovi goes in and gets a left-hand hook of his own. McFadden kicks it back out. Shengelia fakes the three, takes the three, but it's short. McFadden will take the three, draw the foul. That foul, I think, called on the Haluk. Send McFadden to the line. He's played in all 4 of the qualifiers so far for Georgia, shooting 72% from the free throw line. And in that 5-point win, no player can be credited more than McFadden. He had 27 points, 4 rebounds and 9 assists against Ukraine. The 35-year-old pushing Georgia to the win in that one. His free throws break the deadlock and take Georgia out to a 3-point lead now. And a smart play by Sanadze. Throws it back in off Postovi. Georgia will take possession. To get it up over the half though, does so with a second to spare. McFadden waits for the screen from Shermadini. Inside Shengelia now. Switches it to the weak side really quickly, but no good. Okolashvili comes up short with his jumper. Ah, Shengelia, tough defense at the ring. And will start the transition himself as well. Foul is going to be called though on Zotov. Moment, Ukraine looking to struggle on the offensive end as they're going to make a change. Lukashov will come into the game and Zotov will come out. Battle of the veteran point guards now with McFadden and Lukashov. Shermadini's got the mismatch he wants as Lukashov is fighting, literally fighting, to try and keep Shermadini away from the bucket. I'm not sure that switching is the right move in that situation. I think they're in a better position to try and fight over the screen than they are to create that mismatch. Shermadini standing at 216. Lukashov standing at 187. That's only going to end one way. They've switched again. This time Shengelia has got the ball. He's going to go against Lukashov. He's a bit far away from the basket this time. Spins baseline. No good with the right hand. And Postovi pulls in and Bear hugs the rebound. Postovi for 3. Off right with that attempt. His first 3-point attempt of the qualifiers, this being his 4th game. Not a part of the game he is renowned for. Grabs the rebound at that end though. It's his 3rd rebound of the game, and out of the races for Ukraine, and this is where they may make hay as Mihailuk comes away with the score. That's his 2nd bucket of the night. He's on 4 points now. Ukraine back within 1 of Georgia. Sanadze, no good. Postovi pulls down the rebound. Ukraine with the opportunity to take the lead. Foul's going to be called on Shermadini as he gets in a wrestling match with Postovi. It's have a look at the replay. There's Postovi stepping across, and yeah, Shemadini just trying to shove him out of the way. And that's just a little bit of complacency from the veteran Georgian player. Needs to just create a little bit of body contact earlier in the lane. Can't give Postovi a free run down the lane and then try and body him. He needs to create resistance earlier in the cut. Screen set by Postovi. Not used by Mihailuk though. And that will be a turnover. Georgia take possession. Mihailuk looking for the officials to bail him out on that one. As expected, we have a close game here. Just over 6 minutes gone in the first quarter. Georgia lead by a solitary point. These teams match up pretty well, to be fair. Sanadze now. Little crossover, drives inside, draws the contact. Will he get the roll? He will. The basketball gods are shining down on Dura Sanadze. Shot no good. And Lukashov left on his own really to try and grab the offensive rebound as they took that one pretty early in the shot clock. McFadden, little step back, drains the jumper. Not sure if his foot was on the line or not, but that's going to push a timeout called by Ukraine. Coach Bagatskis clearly wants to make some alterations. And yeah, that one was a 3 for McFadden. Let's jump into this Ukrainian huddle and hear what Coach Bagatskis has to say.
У нас есть обоснованно и хорошо, но мы поспешили несколько раз сразу получили назад. У 25-го лучше держим ближе этот трехочковый бросок. Ваня, ты с ним играешь. Если было как сейчас последний, этот перед этим был пик, здесь высоко, он перешел, играл низом. Рэпик свитч. Браво, Ваня, держись, руки притворяйся припарем. Не добойся, он все время там дергается, не реагируй на это. Ну если диск...
Coach Bagatskis there making some alterations. This was the play that pushed him into those changes as McFadden creates a separation with the step back. And that gives a 6-point lead to Georgia. And it's going to be, you have a feeling, a relatively low-scoring game, potentially. It's certainly going to be a physical battle. And both coaches know that they can't afford to allow the other team to open out a double-digit lead. It's going to be hard to fight back in from that. So Coach Bagatskis wants to put a hold on that right now as his team trail by 6. Lukashov hands it off. Shot is no good from Sanon. The battle is being fought, but that's come off the hands of Skapintsev. I think he was surrounded by pretty much the entire Georgian team. Didn't really stand a chance, Skapintsev. Galia now hands it off to Andronishkashvili. Andronishkashvili at the top, goes to the wing. Sanadze now. Pick and roll with Shermadini. He goes inside, just tries to barrel his way to the basket. And at the moment, Ukraine are happy just to put bodies in the way. Foul's going to be called on, I think it was Sanadze, as he steps across the driver. Shermadini's going to head out. Into the game comes Borjanadze. Lukashov now hands it off. Ah, strong move by Yusuf Sanon. And it's that little bit of body contact that he drew from Borjanadze that enabled him to create the space he needed to get the score. Little hesitation. Ah, and a strong move, and the hesitation created the space for Rati Andronishkashvili. He's 21 years of age. of the youngsters surrounded by all these veterans. Youngest player in this Georgia roster, as we see another change. Gincheradze comes into the game. Out comes Sanadze. Lukashov now. Hands it off to Sanon. Sanon looking to try and get Gincheradze on its back. Gets the score. Will it count? Sanon looking to take the entire game on his own. That's a smart play by the youngster. With the little shovel shot to finish. Gets the score. The appreciation of the coaching staff. He'll head to the line for the bonus. He's brought Ukraine back to within 4. Chance to bring that down to just 2. He does so. It's a smart start to the game for Sanon. Just played in 1 game previously, only had 3 minutes on the floor, failed to score in that game. McFadden now. Trying to create a mismatch, pulls the trigger on the 3. That one rims out. And Sanon once again. A little bit of excitement in the arena whenever he gets hold of the ball. That's a great pass and a really strong finish. That one for Bobrov. Gincheradze comes back out to McFadden now. Georgia won't get rattled even though their lead is down to a single point. The foul is going to be called on Skapintsev. Ukraine are in the penalty, so that will send Georgia to the line. There's the finish from Bobrov. And you can see Sanon enjoyed that one in the background as well. 5 points and an assist already to the 22-year-old's name. Shengelia misses the first of his 2. Prior to today's game, didn't miss in the previous game against Ukraine from the free throw line. Ended up with a double-double, 16 points, 13 rebounds in that one, alongside 3 assists. It's the second of his 2, and Georgia's lead doubles out to 2 points now. 1:03 left in this first quarter. As expected, we have a back-and-forth battle. Georgia, you would say, probably just slightly the better of the exchanges, but Ukraine in the ascendancy right now. Lukashov comes back to Sanon. Sanon looking for some space as Gincheradze comes to guard him. Shevchenko nails the 3 and gives Ukraine the lead. As I said, Ukraine slowly but surely gathering some momentum in this game. Final 13 seconds now of this first quarter. Foul's going to be called. Who's that one on? Is it 2 quick fouls on Skapintsev? Let's have a look. Here's the replay actually of the pass from Sanon, his second assist of the game. As Tkachenko nails the corner jumper. It's indeed Skapintsev called for his second foul. That one sends Belishvili to the line for 2 shots. Belishvili, another one of those players yet to miss from the free throw line. I've probably jinxed him now. He's played in all 4 games. It's the first of his 2. Best performance for him was against North Macedonia. 10 points, 4 rebounds and 6 assists in that game for the veteran wing. That first free throw ties us up as the officials just want to talk something over. This is the second though, so the game will remain tied at 20 apiece. About a 1.5 second differential between the shot clock and the first quarter clock. Sanon now hands it off to Bobrov. Lukashov will take over at the top. Bobrov, catch and shoot 3, nails it home. And the fans here in Riga enjoyed that one. Can McFadden get it away from the half? Oh, bangs it off the back of the iron. And what an exciting first quarter of basketball we've had here in Riga. At the first quarter break, Ukraine 23, Georgia 20. There are shooting percentages for both teams. Georgia getting to the free-throw line, whilst Ukraine starting to light it up from outside a little bit more. Relatively good shooting percentages, with the exception of Georgia maybe wanting to shoot better from outside. Here are some of the best plays from that first quarter of action. And it was a relatively slow start for Ukraine. They didn't get going straight away. Georgia certainly asserted themselves early on. At one stage, Georgia held a 6-point lead. But Ukraine fought their way back into it, and they now lead by 3 themselves. As we finish off this first quarter, plenty of great plays on both sides of the floor. McFadden, Shengelia going to work. Shermadini getting blocked, but going to the hook shot on that one. Never give up on the play, that's for sure. But really the turning point in the quarter was the introduction of Sanon. Yusuf Sanon for Ukraine came onto the floor and really started to make things happen. 5 points to his name already, 2 assists in only 3 minutes of action. Plus minus of 9 for Sanon. It was more than that, it was an energy, it was an attitude that he brought to the floor with him. Let's jump into this Ukrainian huddle here, what we can hear. Both teams coming back to the floor for the second quarter of action. Ukraine with a 3-point lead. As I said, in the previous matchup between these two teams, it was Georgia that came away with the 5-point win. It was a close game, that one. It feels like this one's going to be the same. Remember, Georgia already secured their spot in the second qualification round. Ukraine haven't yet. Unfortunately for them, a win here won't necessarily do it. Second quarter action underway now here in Riga for this FIBA World Cup 2023 qualifier between Ukraine and Georgia. Strong start to the second quarter for Georgia as Orjanadze gets the score and brings Ukraine's lead down to just 1. But straight away, Lukashov goes up the other end and gets the score. Three-point lead again for Ukraine now. Orjanadze looking to go to work, but loses the handle. Good team defense there by Ukraine. Ball will come back out, and Ukraine will look to go again. Plenty of time on the shot clock for them to work with. Lukashov to Sanon, sidestep, 3. No good. Bones hit the floor. Foul's going to be called on Lukashov just to break up the Georgia transition. Anthem Nishkishvili looking to get out and run. Smart play really by Lukashov, who just moments earlier got the score to extend Ukraine's lead back out to 3. Could be a concern for Ukraine though. A few players in foul trouble already. Lukashov with his second. Skapinskev with his second as well. Another strong drive from Anthem Nikishvili. Draws another foul. This time it's from Kachenko. Really, no good. Sanon looks to get the rebound, but just gets out-hustled and out-muscled by Orjanadze. Let's have a look. Doesn't box out. There you go. There's the lesson for the youngsters watching. Got caught ball watching. Didn't find his man and lock him out. Instead, just look to try and out-athleticism him. Look to get out and jump after the ball. Sanon's had a good start, though. I think we can let him off the one mistake. Borjanadze hits the first of his two, misses the second. Rebound pulled in by Skapintsev. Sanon now with possession, guided by Gincheladze. Chenko comes up short. Lukashov flying through for the rebound. Lukashov and Sanon developing a good little backcourt combo for Ukraine. Foul's going to be called, I think, on Gincheladze. I think he's saying it's a moving screen. Officials aren't having that one. Coach Bogatskis looking on. Lukashov now inside. Skapintsev gets the score and will go to the line for the chance of the bonus. And you just feel that the confidence and the cohesion in this Ukrainian team is growing with every minute that passes. And this is part maybe of the problem that Georgia have got. They're leaning on a veteran roster, a roster that's going to require maybe a little bit more rotation than the Ukrainian roster will. And as such, when the second string are on the floor, Ukraine have really put them to task at times. Skapintsev doesn't make them pay, but they're going to pay another way as Bobrov grabs the rebound, gets it back. Good ball movement by Ukraine. Shot goes up, awkward looking shot, but who cares when it hits the bottom of the bucket. Ukraine's lead extends out to double digits, extends out to 7 points now, as Bobrov nails the three. It's a game-high lead for Ukraine. Andron Nikishvili almost loses possession. Trying to find it inside to Shermadini, gets it but can't get the score. I'd love to know percentage of points that Shermadini scored in his life within 50 centimetres of the basket. And Lukashov now with another score. Denis Lukashov, second bucket of the game, 2 assists to his name as well. Goes into the paint and gets the score. Timeout has been called by coach Ilias Zouros for Georgia. His team trail by 9, 7:21 remaining in the first half. Let's listen to his huddle.
First open, flash, then you have the ball, We pass, hand off, flare, leave them to do that. Here is Merab, good screen on the side, good screen, don't dribble. 46 here, they play switch, pass, watch in, do the little bit high, here. At 55, they do the switch at 55.
You certainly couldn't charge Coach Zolos with not having enough passion for the game. Great coach, putting it all out there right now, making it clear to his team their defensive efforts not acceptable at the moment, as we see a replay of the Bobrov triple. He's up to 8 points now, 3 from 3 from the field. As Shengelia and McFadden come back in, as does Bokolishvili, Berishvili, Gincheladze and Angelin Nishkavili come out of the game. Foul has been called on Kavchenko, I think. That'll be his second. And Ukraine is certainly picking up the fouls at the moment, which will cause them issues down the line. Minutes gone here in the second quarter, as we see Futos come into the game for the first time as Chenko comes out. Three-point attempt's no good. The long rebound falls kindly back to McFadden. The opposite corner, baseline drive. Shengalia now looking to shape up against Bobrov. Goes inside, goes to the right hand, and that's such a tough play. You can see the frustration from Bobrov. Played good defense, bodied him. Made it as difficult as he could. But Shengalia, just ice running through his veins, drops a near impossible running one-hander. Jumper goes up. That one looks short, but creeps over the front of the iron. Pavlos Krutals goes into the scorebook for the first time. His first game in these qualifiers for the World Cup. Shermadini established himself way too low and causing major problems for Ukraine right now as Krutals just ends up trying to hug him to the floor. This is a replay of Shengalia. Shengalia just like a fly bouncing off his body. Such a strong player. Shermadini heads to the line for 2 free throws. Phenomenal free throw shooter, Shermadini. Prior to today's game, 93% in these qualifiers. Comes up way short on that one. That was pure commentator's curse for him. Looked like it slipped out of his hand. Misses them both. That's highly unusual for Shermadini. Lukashov now drives inside, gets blocked, but draws the foul before he is blocked. Bokulashvili, I think, is going to get called for that one. Yeah, just on his back. Just a half step behind Lukashov. Lukashov hits the first of his 2 free throws. And the second, giving Ukraine a game-high 11-point lead. 4 minutes into this second quarter. And Ukraine are looking good, particularly on the defensive end. Georgia only scoring 5 points in the first 4 minutes. Shengalia hands it off, though. Goes to Sanadze. No good. Big rebound. Ukraine out. 4-on-3 break. Oh, coast to coast for Mihailuk. Absolutely phenomenal, the amount of confidence Mihailuk has there. Just went all the way. Gets the score, picks the rebound up at one end, gets the 2 points at the other. And Ukraine's lead stretched out to 13 now. Coach Zuros calls the timeout. Let's hear what his huddle has to say.
Get the ball. Get the fucking ball.
One foul, we give a layup, guys. We give it the fast break, it's okay. Do that here. Man up here. 5 here, X. One is strip, 4 screen. Duda is running. Man up is going. Same moment that Duda is running, screen Sherman. Diagonal screen. Then here, 5 will go. Toko is posting up. So we have here, then shoot, and 5 will go.
Let's go, guys, let's go!
Just a quick apology if you heard any colourful language within that timeout. Passion's running high, a lot at stake for these players. And a calm timeout there from Coach Zuros, knowing that maybe the ranting isn't going to get his team back into the game. They trail by 13. Well, it's been an impressive close to the first quarter and first half of this second quarter for Ukraine. McFadden now. at the top with possession. Got the mismatch, pulls the trigger on the three, that comes up short, and just look there like Mihailuk was just floating, waiting for the ball to come to him. There's the crossover, foul's going to be called. Mihailuk is causing Georgia some problems as Sanadze up on his backside on the floor, unable to deal with the quick direction change from Mihailuk. Zokov hands it off. Mihailuk with a double pump, doesn't get the three. McFadden with the rebound. His second board of the game, sorry, third rebound of the game for Thad McFadden. Shermadini being wrestled again, double team before he even receives ball. And Krutos with the foul. And I think the plan from Coach Bagatskis is just don't let Shermadini score. I don't mind if we're going to give up fouls, don't mind if we're going to send him to the line, but he's not going to get easy points on us. Shermadini back at the line, missed his last two pretty badly. It's the first at this trip. Doesn't get the second to go though. Rebound pulled down by Kostovi. Almost stolen by McFadden. Mihailuk holds on to it and gets the score. He's looking like he's playing in slow-mo at times. He's in that much control. 8 points now for Mihailuk and alongside 4 rebounds. And Ukraine are out to a 14-point lead. Sanadze barrels his way inside, and gets blocked. A big two-handed block. No entry sign shown by Kostovi. And an offensive foul is going to be called as Shengalia is barreled to the floor. Hey, look, out of control as he comes down. Boborov's dunk is going to be ruled out. That was a big two-handed swat. Let's have a look at it again from this angle. Kostovi comes over. And yeah, that's a no entry sign. Access restricted from Kostovi. Akladze now brings it up over the half for Georgia. What can they do in the final 4 minutes of this first quarter? Ideally, they want to be at least within a single-digit deficit. They need to trim this lead somewhat. Shengalia inside, goes to the right hand, no good. Shermadini, no good with his attempt. And he'll draw the foul again. Petrov this time called for the foul. As Ukraine's hit squad continues to go at Shermadini, giving him no space whatsoever. Take your pick on who the foul was there. Krutos slaps him on the back. And it receives a round of applause from Coach Bagatskis. He is happy. And his team are doing a job on Shermadini at the moment, sending him back to the line. Shermadini 1 from 6 from the field, 5 rebounds, but only 3 points as he was struggling from the free throw line today. He continues to do so. .93% from the free throw line in these qualifiers prior to today's game. Shengalia hits the floor hard. Now the foul called. As the Georgia fans look on. Shengalia now will head to the line. There's a little face-to-face happening at the moment. Wants to split that one up. Mihailuk called for his third foul. That could be a problem for Ukraine. Have they called a technical? They have as well. Mihailuk picks up his 4th foul. How stupid is that as a play? Oh my goodness me. He was having such a positive impact on the game, but surely that's going to mean he has to go to the bench now. That'll be his 4th foul. He's on 8 points, leading them in scoring, 5 rebounds. And he's now going to have to head over to the bench after taking offense, I think, to how Shengelia, he thinks, won the foul. And Mihailuk now, technical foul, will sit down. But McFadden fails to convert the technical free throw. And Shengelia will now head back to the free throw line for his. Don't expect to see Mihailuk now, maybe until the 4th quarter. He could be sitting down for almost 14 minutes of basketball because of not being able to control the emotions of the event. Shengelia hits the first from the free throw line. Takes his tally up to 8 now. Joint leading scorer alongside McFadden. And Georgia have struggled from the free throw line. Usually a good free throw shooting side, 84% in the qualifiers up to today's game. Sanon now, Petrov. Sanon back to Petrov, he's open for 3. And he'll take it and hit it. That's a big shot for Petrov. Comes into the game, basically shrugs his shoulders and say, look, if they're going to give me that amount of space, I have to shoot the ball, and that's good for Ukraine because they'll have to respect Petrov a little bit more now. Gladze gets it to Shermadini, who quickly gets it back to McFadden. 4 seconds to work with. McFadden for 3. That one's an air ball. And it will be a Ukrainian ball on the baseline at the moment. Georgia have no answer for the physicality that Ukraine are offering up. The only solace that they might take is that Ukraine are potentially going to get themselves into foul trouble if they carry on playing this brand of basketball. Sanon inside, puts the lob up. But Stoby was not ready for the lob. Sanon's frustrated. Needs to channel that frustration into the game, though. Stoby wasn't waiting for the lob pass. Radze now brings it up over the half and hands it off to Sanradze. Another foul called as I think Petrov barrels through the screen set by McFadden. McFadden will go back to the free throw line. Ukraine certainly chalking up the fouls roundabout now. And you have a feeling that this may come back to haunt them later on in the game. McFadden hits the first of his 2. Ukraine already called for 17 fouls, more than double the number that Georgia have been called for. Mihailuk on 4, and 5 players on 2 fouls. So they're spreading the foul count around at least. That helps for sure. Foul going to be called on Gladze. Gladze just putting a little bit more pressure on the ball. See if he can cause or force a mistake. Zoltov to the line, hits the first of his 2. 25-year-old actually on his home floor, plays for Riga here in Latvia. Could be used to the rims, and that proves so for those free throws. His first points of the game. And Georgia's lead out to 16. Apologies for the missing graphic at the moment. Just working on restoring that as soon as we can. Another foul is going to be called on Petrov. Shengelia is pushed out of bounds. Shengelia back at the free throw line again. Unbelievably, Georgia have shot 20 free throws already in this game, just 50% though from the free throw line, and that drops again. 10 from 21 from the free throw line now, compared to just 5 from 6 for Ukraine. I say, Georgia are actually a good free throw shooting side, usually above 80%. Shengalia gets the second to go. So they're now 11 from 22 from the free throw line. Zoltov, Petrov, good patience. Sanon now looking, trying to make something happen. Almost loses the handle though. Stovi throws it away. Ball pass by Zoltov, but it's stolen back, is it? It's going to be wrapped up on the ground. Shengalia did come away with it, but the whistle had already been blown. That one will fall to the possession arrow, which is in favor, I think, of Ukraine. As we're now into the final 2 minutes of this first half. 15-point lead for Ukraine. What a second quarter they've had. Sanon for three. Misses this time. Shermadini pulls down another rebound. That's his sixth of the night. McFadden to Shengalia. Little crossover, drives inside and flushes it with the one hand. You wonder how much of that was just pure frustration from Shengalia, that his team really aren't operating at the level they usually do. Puts it down with a little extra mustard. Makes the point as a timeout is called by Ukraine. Their lead is 13. But Coach Bagatskis wants to talk things over. Let's listen into his huddle.
Эй, смотри, Артем, сыграем кулак вниз. Но если ты получаешь краски, ты играешь как ты ставишь заслон. Да? Если ты ему даешь, только тогда, если он получает мяч краски. Если нет, если получил краски, смотри ситуацию, можешь сыграть высокий хендов с Юсупом. Если это нет, топ пик-н-ролл получает Юсуп, играет с Петей, ты на лицевой линии, а Петя покой.
Хорошо, если я могу играть, конечно, постарайся получить, пусть фонит на получение.
Давай. Украина!
Ukraine in control of this game at the moment. Just have a nagging feeling that Coach Zoros there and his team are not finished. There's too much talent, too much experience in the likes of Shermadini and Shengalia in that Georgia roster for them not to have a resurgence, to have a fight back into this game. With over 90 seconds left in the first half, Ukraine lead by 13. Zoltov moves back out to Sanon. Goes inside, little running hook shot, in and out, gets the score in the end. And the basketball gods are certainly looking down on Ukraine right now. Things are going their way. Lead back out to 15. McFadden, Shermadini, patience being shown by Georgia. Shengalia now, shot clock at 7. Steps back for the three. That one's not a pretty shot at all. Slaps off the glass and no more. Into the hands of Klutos. He puts up too much on that one. And we're going to close the first half out in what looks like a little bit of a scrappy phase of play. One stolen away, but the foul's going to be called, I think, on Sanon. Have a look if it is. I think it is. Smile on his face and shakes hands with the officials. Sanon's going to head to the bench on that one. Or is he? Is he staying on the floor? Looks like he might stay on the floor. Bobrov comes in for Kostovi. a good job protecting the rim. As we see, Sanadze at the free throw line, hits the first of his two. And the second takes his tally just to 4 points in the game so far. Averaging over 10 points a game. Due to Sanadze. Shamadini will head to the bench as well. Getting an extra long break at the half. Into the final 30 seconds now of this first half. Ukraine will need to get it over the half quickly. They managed just to get it over before the second violation. Zotov now being harassed by Akradze. Zotov puts up the air ball. Rebound eventually falls into the hands of Borjanadze. And Shengalia will take the last shot of the first half. Drives inside, kicks it out. They get it away, but it's short. And that is the end of the first half of action here in Riga. And what a first half for Ukraine. They lead this one 47-34 over Georgia. Big 20 minutes of basketball ahead of us here in Riga. Shooting statistics, as you can see, one of the big problems Georgia have got is literally no production from outside at the moment, and their free throw shooting leaves a lot to be desired, shooting a little over 50%, and that is a problem considering Ukraine keeps sending them to the free throw line. Clearly a strategy from Ukraine. Georgia, two players in double digits, Shengalia and McFadden. Leading scorer for Ukraine is Mihailuk, but he is currently on 4 fouls. Here are some of the best plays from that first half of action, and a real interesting storyline from the first 20 minutes here in Riga. Georgia got out to a great start, really showed some composure and control. The veterans leading the way early on in the likes of Shengalia, Shamadini and McFadden. However, Ukraine seemed to flip a switch towards the end of the first quarter and throughout the second quarter, and they really came through, and their energy and intensity and the pace that they pushed the game to really made the game fall in their favour. They outscored Georgia 24-14 in that second quarter, and that's what's enabled them to have a 13-point lead at the half. One note of concern, though, for Ukraine would be that they're playing a little bit of bully ball right now, and they're giving up a lot of personal fouls, which may come back to haunt them at the latter stages. At the moment, they have one player on 4 fouls. Their top scorer, Mihailuk, he has 4 fouls, alongside his 8 points and 5 rebounds. And they also have 6-7 players, in fact, on 2 fouls now, which isn't a problem. They are certainly sharing the fouls, but it may cause them an issue in the second half. What also may cause Ukraine an issue is if Georgia actually starts shooting free throws at the level they should be. They've already missed 11 free throws. If they'd hit the ones we expect them to hit, this would be a 4 or 5 point ball game, not a 13-point ball game. So it'll be interesting to see what corrections both these teams make in the second half. Georgia, it's about connecting and creating from the free throw line. And for Ukraine, it's about keeping the pace high, managing the foul count, managing the emotions that they're playing with right now. As we see the example there of the young gun Sanon, who's had a good start to the game, letting the emotions overcome him a little. 5 points, 5 assists for him. But at the halfway stage here in Riga, it's Ukraine that are in the driving seat. They lead 47-34 over Georgia.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Italy, Tumba rejects him, but he says, no, monsieur.
And they hammer home the advantage with a half court. Drops it inside, stolen, pocket picked. Great finish. Super finish under pressure.
Gavin Schilling in for Germany. Schroeder still in. Little, oh, what a pass. Little dime, little drop-off pass. And Schilling at the front of the rim throws it down. Germany attack and blocked again by Theis. Not in this house.
Seppala with a good defense. Hawkinson not able to find anything except that, folks. And look at that, and one by Beard Garden.
You can't complete at no angle to finish. Going the other way, going upstairs, and to the gumbo! At speed, hit the runway, throws it down.
Just a miss from the line for him. Oh, a little leak out from Israel, but it's rejected by Panicka, doing everything. Had a block to the stat column as well.
Oh, hello, Markkanen. I mean, just the ability of Lauri Markkanen and what he can do offensively.
With the quick hands, the steal and the two. Weedle to the glass. Crowd liked it. Weedle throws it down hard.
Welcome back to Riga in Latvia for this World Cup qualifier between Ukraine and Georgia at the halfway stage here. And Ukraine lead this one 47-34. We're going to look through some of the highlights of Georgia's leading scorer, Shengalia. Shengalia has put on a show. You've seen some frustration from him as well, but he's done a good job to keep his team within this contest. 11 points for him. Only two players on double digits for Georgia. Alongside him is Thad McFadden. And Shengalia just continues to do what he does. And that's make the game of basketball look like an easy game to play. Puts on a show whenever he plays and plays with so much heart and passion. Okay, Shengalia. A real difficult matchup for most teams. Has a handle, has a shot, and has just pure strength to get to the bucket. Here's the top scorer for Ukraine. Bobrov on 8 points. He's not the only player on 8 points. Mihailuk is on 8 points as well, but Bobrov has been doing the job 2 from 2 from outside. That's the reason Ukraine have this lead at the halfway stage. And this is their performance from the perimeter. They've hit 4 threes so far. Onside his 8 points. Bobrov also has 2 rebounds. As I said, Mihailuk also has 8 points. He has 5 rebounds, though, and the steal. But the biggest problem for Mihailuk is that he has 4 fouls as he picked up a unneeded technical foul in that second quarter, which probably means we're not going to see Mihailuk till the final quarter of action now. Both teams to come back to the floor. They're making the most of the half-time break. We're a little over 5 minutes before the start of the second half. This is the final window of the first qualification round for the 2023 World Cup. Ukraine having to play 3 games in this window, playing Georgia tonight. They then travel to North Macedonia to play on Monday before returning here to Riga to play against Spain next Thursday. That will close out their first round of qualifiers. As for Georgia, after tonight, 1 more game for them, and they will take on Spain on Monday. That one back in Tbilisi, I believe. And remember what they're fighting for. It's to make it all the way through to the World Cup in Asia next year. At the moment, Georgia have done the job. They're through to the second qualification round, as are Spain. However, Ukraine still to secure their progression to that second qualification round. Even a win tonight won't guarantee them that second round. They'll need to pick up a win against North Macedonia on Monday to lock that progression in. And these teams are fighting it out, and in the second round they will face Italy, Iceland and the Netherlands, who are currently battling it out in Group H. But they're the other 3 teams that they'll face, and home and away in the second round. The important thing to note as well is that all of the results from this first round carry through to the second round. So although Georgia have qualified for that second round, they don't want to take any losses forward with them, because it could really hurt their chances of making it to the World Cup in Asia next year. They want to get through with as many wins as possible, and a loss here tonight certainly wasn't in the playbook for Coach Zoros and his team. We are now just over 3 minutes away from the start of the second half, as the players return to the floor. Ukraine and Georgia now back on the floor, getting ready for the second half, and interesting to see if Ukraine continue their strategy through. It was a physical style of play. They weren't going to give any easy buckets to Georgia. They were going to send them to the free throw line, and that really has paid dividends in this game. Georgia struggling from the free throw line unbelievably. Usually shoot, or prior to today's game, they were shooting 84% from the free throw line in these qualifiers. Today, just 54%. Chengalia, there you can see, shooting 50% himself from the free throw line, leading them in scoring with 11 points, but not the best performance shooting-wise for him. Chermadini also struggling, 1 from 6 for Georgi Chermadini. 17%. As for Ukraine, well, they have a game plan. They've stuck to that game plan, and it seems to be paying dividends right now. They lead by 13 at the halfway stage, and this would be a big scalp, a big win for them. Bobrov, highly efficient, 8 points, perfect from the floor, 3 from 3, 2 from 2 from the three-point line. Stovi also playing his part, the big man having to defend the rim in what is a very tough team to play against in the paint. They certainly put you under a lot of physical pressure throughout. Ukraine, through a good use of rotation from Coach Bagatskis, is getting the job done. He has done his homework. He has a game plan in mind. His team are executing it well. He and his coaching staff can certainly be proud of where they are at this halfway stage. San on there, one of the youngsters in this Ukrainian team, just 22 years of age, only played 3 minutes in his previous qualifiers appearance, and already played near enough 11 minutes here, 5 points, but more importantly, 5 assists for the young guard. see so many Ukrainian fans in the stands supporting their team in what must be a difficult time for them to play. Let's jump into these huddles, though, before the start of the second half and hear what the coaches have to say.
Start here. Pass, sprint. Direct, fast, with flair. From here, not middle. Toko is running, you make one dribble, and he slips the screen. One. Second offense. X. You remember the X? 4.
From Georgia's perspective, I'm sure Coach Zoros has outlined maybe a new game plan for them in the second half. Probably will rely on a little bit more range shooting. Maybe a little bit more ball movement than they've had in the first half. And how will Ukraine adapt their game plan to that? That could be the key for who walks away with the big win here today in Riga. Second half action underway here in Riga, Latvia. World Cup 2023 qualifier between Ukraine and Georgia. Fadden at the top at the halfway stage. Ukraine have a 13-point lead. Georgia's first shot is no good. Looks like it came off the hands of Lukashov, though, so Georgia will have a 14-second reset to work with. Ukraine in the first half used their fouls well. That's what's helped them get to this 13-point lead. That aligned with a poor free throw shooting performance from Georgia. A one-foot step back for Shengalia, no good. Lukashov now gives it up. Good transition, gets the shot away, doesn't get the score. Bobrov fouled by Shengalia. Pass by the big man there. Stovi. A good little pass inside to Bobrov. Bobrov must be a little bit frustrated he didn't get the score, but he will be happy that he's heading to the free throw line. Rattles home the first of his 2. You always want to break the seal, get the scoreboard ticking early in a quarter. And Bobrov's done that, and what a rebound by Lukashov. Just fast asleep, Georgia, as Sanon goes in, doesn't get the score. Shengalia with the rebound. Eventually, Georgia will control possession. Shermadini sets the screen and rolls hard to the basket, trying to lock Kachenko out. McFadden for 3. Rebound pulled down by Bobrov. Good defense there by Ukraine. Didn't enable or allow Shermadini to establish low in the paint. Lukashov now. Stovi. Lukashov drives inside, has it stolen away. Shengalia out in the transition. He's going to pick up the foul. And it looks like Ukraine are going to go back to the old strategy of keep fouling. Kachenko called for the foul. Look how hard he is chasing back, tries to steal it away, but just shoves Shengalia in the back instead. It's almost anti-basketball Ukraine are playing at the moment as Kachenko picks up his 3rd foul. All passed inside to Sanadze. Sanadze for 3. That one's short. Rebound pulled down by Bobrov. His 4th rebound of the game alongside his 9 points. Lukashov for 3. Iron and away. Sanadze now Hands it back to McFadden. McFadden looking to create space, almost has it knocked away. Good hands by Kachenko. Sanadze looking to push his way to the basket. Instead throws it straight out of bounds. And doesn't look like much has changed for Georgia in the half-time locker room. Looking a little bit disheartened on the floor right now. I don't think they have a solution. And it's up to the veteran leaders on the court to take control of the game. Sanon. Pustovi. That's going to be a travel. Pustovi went up and came back down with the ball. Ukraine's lead still at 14, and for Georgia, I suppose they just need to keep the pace low. They just need to keep the scoring rate of Georgia. Sorry, for Ukraine, they just need to keep the pace low and keep Georgia's scoring rate as low as possible. And they hope the 14-point lead is enough to get them to the finish line. Shengelia using his pivot well outside to McFadden. Steps to the side, hands it to the corner. That shot's no good. And it's play-by-play at the moment. Inside, Pustovi slaps the backboard, pulls on the ring, and knows how big this game is for his team. Timeout's been called by Coach Zuros. And Sanon with the heads up gets his 6th assist of the game. And the Ukrainian big man takes out his frustration on the orange. Slaps the glass on his way down as well. That's how much it means to these players. Absolutely everything it means to them. This timeout has been called. Let's head into this Georgia huddle and hear what the coach has to say.
You are here, the other, and you go to a back door. And off, pass, and we continue. We are next. 5 set screen to you. They switch and you go there. You don't go there, you go here. 5 goes here, 4 is here. And you have shoot, rebound, or pass. Come on, man.
Plenty of Ukrainian flags in the stands, and they'll be enjoying what they're seeing. There's the pass from Sanon. There's the finish from Pustovi. He's enjoying it. His teammates are enjoying it. They hold a 16-point lead over Georgia right now. This is huge in their campaign to get to the World Cup next year. This is a big step forward for them, not just for this first qualification round, but they'll take this through to the second qualifier if they can get the win today. Great defense by Sanon as he just closes the door on Sanadze. Ball goes back out. Bobrov comes up short. Rebound pulled down by Shengelia. And Ukraine just can't get carried away. They need to stick to their game plan if they want to come away with the win. Sanon. Foul's going to be called on Pustovi. Pustovi called for the foul. Just the second team foul of the quarter, though, for Ukraine, I think. So no free throws. It'll be a sideline possession for Georgia. Second foul for Pustovi, and that's been the key to Ukraine. Picked up a lot of fouls, but they've spread them out. Shermadini goes inside, and he's too busy looking for the foul rather than getting the score. As Georgia are called for a foul coming the other way. As Chinchaladze puts his hands up for that one. Sideline possession as Chinchaladze picks up his third foul. Georgia are just too focused on trying to get the officials to call the fouls instead of actually focusing on getting the bucket there, Shermadini. Some of the frustrations being pointed in the wrong direction for the Georgia team right now. Sanon steps inside, loses the handle though, tries to fight back for it, does so. Lukashov throws the lob up, but there was no way Postovi was going to get there. That was just too far for Postovi. McFadden now using the Shermadini screen. Splits the defenders and gets the roll. Shermadini picks up the rebound, can't get it to go. Foul's going to be called this time. As Shermadini hits the floor. And he is fully in a war right now in the paint. Let's have a look. And the foul's going to be called. Is it Lukashov? Probably should be. That's going to get called for that one. It's his third personal foul. Postovi heads to the bench. He's put a shift in so far. Georgia still trail by 16 though. 4 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Goes to the basket. Foul's going to be called, and Sanadze is going to have to earn his points from the free throw line. And that seems to be exactly what Ukraine are happy with. They're not going to give Georgia any points in open play. They're going to make Georgia beat them from the free throw line. And so far, Georgia haven't really been up to that task. 13 from 24 from the free throw line, Georgia. Make that 14 from 25. Into the quarter, and unbelievably, that is the first points of the quarter for Georgia. Floats to the basket for the score. Kachenko. And Georgia's offense just doesn't normally produce so little. They're averaging 80 points a game in these qualifiers. Defensively, they have struggled. They've been shipping 77 points a game, but on the offensive end, they've been performing well. Shengelia gets a little running hook shot. And it's going to take a player like Shengelia to lift his team up and take the team on the shoulders a little bit. Foul's going to be called on Shermadini as Skapinsketsev looks to work him in the low post. There's the running hook shot from Shengelia. Old school move with a great result. There's the easy score for Kachenko. Once he created the space, it was a straightforward layup. Skapintsev now hands it off to Mihailuk. Remember, he's on 4 fouls. So he needs to be super careful. I'm surprised we've seen him in the game. His team lead by 14. Not sure I'd be risking Mihailuk at this point. Baseline ball now for Georgia. Both teams making changes. Zoltov's come in for Lokashov and Kutos has come in for Sanon. Also into the game now is Petrov. For Georgia, Shengelia is heading to the bench. See how frustrated he is with how the game's playing out right now. Janadze's come in for Shengelia. Shermadini wrestling in the low post. He's open now, should get the score and does. Haven't seen that many times. Unbelievably, just his second field goal of the game. And you only have to look at Shermadini to see the wars that he's been in. There's scratch marks all over his shoulders and arms where Ukraine have certainly gone after him. There's the frustration from Shengelia. Ukraine's lead, though, just at 12. They just get over the half in time. But the score is easy for Mihailuk. I'm not sure Georgia have found any rhythm in this second half. They're still being disrupted by what Ukraine are doing. There's the shot from Shermadini. Back-to-back scores for him. Once again, he looks to the officials for the foul call. Nothing given. Didn't look like a foul, that one to me. Plenty have, which have been called, but not that one. Mihailuk now. Mihailuk goes to go to the basket, goes strong. Oh, what a float. Just seemed to hold into the air for a second longer to create enough space and to be able to assess the situation of where he needed to put the shot. Gets the score away. 12 points for him now. And that's an air ball from Georgia. And the body language of Zuros, Coach Zuros there, I think tells you all you need to know about how the game is going right now for Georgia. Doesn't get the score this time. Shermadini picks up his 10th rebound of the game. Sanadze comes up short with the shot. Georgia, because of the way Ukraine have been playing such a physical brand of defense, I'm not sure where to go on the offensive end. Lob pass comes shot there from Zoltov is no good, as McFadden brings it up over the half. To fight his way to the bucket. The defense is too good. Well, that looked like a carry from Mihailuk, nothing called. Wants to go inside. Can only throw it away though. Chiradze now. That's going to be a travel from Sanadze, who got caught in two minds. His feet weren't sure what to do. Double change for Georgia as Bakradze and Shengalia come back in. McFadden's heading to the bench. 2:36 left in this third quarter. Mihailuk now. Looking for some space. Has it stolen away? It seems strange that he was holding it there for so long. 3-on-1 break. Move to the basket is no good from Borjanadze. But it will remain Georgia ball. Baseline ball now for Georgia. Shengalia just gets deserted. And if anything, that kind of put him off his stride. And things just go from bad to worse for Georgia right now. Zoltov wisely slowing things down, running a little bit of clock, using the screen well. The long two is short though. Shengalia with the rebound, his fourth rebound of the night, alongside 13 points for the veteran. Shengalia, baseline drive. Shermadini has to turn away from it. Shot goes up from Bakradze, but no good. Mihailuk now over the half. Lane opens up for it, goes straight to the bucket. Doesn't get the score, but will head to the free throw line. I'm sure they need to play it that high. As Coach Zuros shows his frustration. I think it's a mistake from Chicharadze there. Pushing him that high, that far away from the basket. If you're going to do that, probably need to show him more to the middle than to the wing. Mihailuk gets the first of his two free throws to go. Credit to him, he's played the last 3.5 minutes on 4 fouls as Chicharadze joins him on 4 fouls. Svetoslav Mihailuk, one of the bright stars of Ukrainian basketball for sure. See Sidorov come back into the game. Only played 6 minutes so far, so he'll have fresh legs to put in for Ukraine. Shengalia now going against Klutos and gets the score. And Shengalia seems to find it easier to score in difficult situations than he does when he's completely open. Seems to revel in the physicality and the contact. Sidorov now. Weaving and winding his way to the basket. That's off the back of Shermadini. It will remain Ukrainian ball. Their lead has almost stayed identical throughout the quarter. They're were up by 13 at the start of the quarter. They're up by 14 now. They've controlled proceedings impressively here in the third quarter against a very experienced, talented Georgian roster. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound is going to be won by Borjanadze. Stolen away, good quick hands by Mahailu. There's about a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the third quarter clock, so Georgia should get something back. Just trying to run down as much clock as he can. 10 seconds to work with on the game clock in this quarter. Rebound pulled down. They're going to get the shot away. It's not going to count though, but that's going to be the end of the action here in the third quarter. In fact, is it? No, the 2 is going to count because it was the shot clock buzzer that sounded, not the game clock, and the shot clock should have reset as it touched the ring. I don't think Georgia are going to be too happy with how that's played out, but that's the way it's played out. He got the shot away, it hit the ring, the shot clock clearly resets, and Georgia didn't continue to play defense, and that will close out the third quarter as Ukraine extend their lead by 3 points in that third quarter. End of the third, Ukraine 60, Georgia 44. Here are the shooting statistics. As you can see, Georgia having a nightmare from outside, whilst Ukraine continue just to battle away and get their points any which way they can. Let's jump into the huddles and listen to the coaching staff. Here are some of the best plays from that third quarter of action, and another quarter that is owned by Ukraine. They have won every single quarter so far. They won the first one by 3, the second quarter by 10, and that quarter by 3. But probably more impressively for Ukraine in that third quarter was that they held Georgia to just 10 points. This is a team that is averaging 20 points a quarter, and Ukraine halved that average. And that's how Ukraine are going to come away with the win here today. It's not particularly now going to be from offensive production. It's going to be, can they withhold the onslaught in this final quarter from a frustrated and potentially angry Georgian roster. We see the frustration from Sengalia there as he slams the water into the ground. But Ukraine have done a phenomenal job in the first 30 minutes of this game, and what a big game it is for them as well. Remember, this is a World Cup qualifier, as both of these teams are looking to fight for one of those 12 European berths at the World Cup in Asia next year. If you love the basketball you've seen, get your phones out, scan that QR code, and it will take you to Courtside 1891, a relatively new app that brings you live stream, schedule, scores, statistics from basketball leagues all over the world. Sign into that and you'll be able to keep up to date with all of the action as it happens, all of the live feeds as they happen. You see the positive body language from Ukraine as they walk back on the floor, heads held high, chests puffed out. The same cannot be said of Georgia. Look a little bit shell-shocked here. Fourth quarter action underway here in Riga, as Ukraine leads 60-44 in what could be a monumental victory for them on their path to the World Cup. Rebound pulled in there just about by Borjanadze. McFadden now. Shengalia goes inside to Borjanadze. The double team comes across to him. Shot clock at 4. He's going to have to make something happen. Has it stolen away instead. Ukraine now 2-on-1 break. Floats inside and gets the score for Sidorov. His second bucket of the game. Georgia's lead out to 18. And there's a telling statistic for you. Georgia, 0 points in the fast break. Whilst Ukraine have 11, Shengelia, no good again, and the physicality of the defense from Ukraine continues to be impressive. Sidorov now. That one's short. Georgia will come away with it. And they really need to be making moves early if they're going to come away with the win. The other thing they need to have in mind that's going to be important as we see the big shot come in from McFadden. Is it time for him to wake up a little bit? There's the three. But the other important statistic we need to look at is even if Ukraine win this, they want to win it by more than 5 points. That will give them the head-to-head advantage over Georgia, which could be absolutely vital. McFadden, back-to-back triples, and that pushes coach back Bagatskis into a timeout for Ukraine. And that is what Georgia can do to you. The talent and experience they have in their roster has the ability to change a game in the blink of an eye. Ukraine's lead has been trimmed all the way back to 12. Let's jump into this Ukrainian huddle, hear what the coaching staff have to say.
Все знаем, пора. Не спешим, если есть ваш, этот бросок, чтобы делать. No fake rebounds. No, предыдущий, иди ближе, пусть проходит, тебя подстрахует. Эй, играем пора. Set, with the ball. Danger, start from here like ball. Dima goes there. And look for situation. There is a seat, here is the pass. Hey, you can attack, watch the Dima.
As you would expect, the calm timeout there from Coach Bagatskis. And I'm sure deep down he's not that calm with back-to-back triples from McFadden. You saw his facial expression as he watched that one drop, and that's what McFadden can do. He's up to 16 points now, Thad McFadden. Only 4 from 13. Hasn't been the most efficient point scoring for him. Well, he brought Georgia within 12, and that is striking distance with 8 minutes still to play. Mihailik now goes inside, loses the handle straight away, throws it away into the hands of Bokashishvili. McFadden for three. Not this time, Shengelia. He's fouled on his way through. Is it on Skapintsev? Let's see who that one is whistled on. Sidorov, in fact, picks up his first foul. First foul, team foul of the quarter as well. Could help Ukraine out. Fadden almost has it stolen away, can only spill it out of bounds. Good sportsmanship there from Sidorov, helping McFadden to his feet. Ukraine ball on the baseline, and this is the balancing act now for Ukraine between using the clock, burning up as much of the game time as they can, but they can't be too negative. They still need to be trying to create some opportunities to score, because 62 is not going to be the winning score. They're going to have to put some points on the board. Foul's going to be called on Borjanadze. Borjanadze saying, nope, that's a bad call, ref. I'm afraid I'm with the officials on this one. That's a good call. Watch him reach round and just hit both the side and the arm of Skapintsev. All inbounded. Drive to the basket. That one's no good. Petrov comes up short. McFadden now. Borjanadze hands it back. With Ukraine, this is good. Make Georgia at least work and burn some clock for their points if they can. Qualifiers, no good. And almost now, you can feel the Ukrainian coaching staff ticking off the possessions. For every one they survive, they're a possession closer to the big win. Sidorov now. Drives inside, floats that one, it's short. Shengelia picks up the loose ball. Interesting to see how long until they bring Sanon on for Ukraine. Shengelia looks to put it up, can't get it to go, but it will be a Georgia ball with a new 14 to work with. Georgia will make the change. Sanadze comes in. Bokolishvili heads to the bench. Ukraine's lead still at 12, and you can see the body language changing for coach Bagatskis. As we see Lukashov come back in for Sidorov. Sidorov did a good job in giving Lukashov a bit of a longer break. Lukashov's been impressive today. Really corralled the team at times, controlled the tempo, done a good job. McFadden now. Orjanadze looks to use his body strength to get to the bucket, can't get it to go, but the offensive rebound's pulled down by Gincheradze and gets the score. And the Ukrainian nerves will start to jangle now as Georgia are within 10. Lukashov uses the Skapintsev screen. Skapintsev rolls perfectly, beautifully by the big man to the bucket, seals out the defense, creates an easy score in the end. I have a feeling Ukraine really will need, McFadden almost heads over the ad boards. You have a feeling Ukraine are going to need probably above 70 to be 100% sure. That would be a big ask for Georgia to score more than 18 points in 6 minutes. It's doable for sure, but it would be a big ask in a low-scoring game. McFadden gets the first of his 2. So for Ukraine, realistically, they're looking for 3 more buckets, 3 or 4 more buckets in the next 6 minutes. McFadden misses the second though, and it's that poor performance from the free throw line that has truly cost Georgia today. Oh, and there's the poster! There's the flex! Kachenko just throws the hammer down. What a big play, great vision. McFadden caught sleeping, hands it off from Lukashov to Kachenko. And there's the gun show. Sanon with the long pass to Lukashov. Lukashov shovels it off, and Kachenko finishes it with pure power. Happy to see replay after replay of plays like that. See what it means to the Ukrainian team. Can he convert the 3-point play though? No, he can't. Rebound brought down by Borjanadze. 13-point lead for Ukraine. McFadden almost misses everything. Now for Ukraine, it really is slow the game down, use the shot clock as much as they can. Realistically, Georgia are going to have maybe 10 more possessions. Sanon, step back, 3, no good. Rebound goes long to McFadden. Shengelia, Orjanadze comes back out, and Georgia can't take their time. They can't be happy to fall into a half-court offense. Shengelia with the and-one play, though. A little bit of direction, a little bit of aggression. And Shengelia gets that first step, draws the foul, keeps control and gets the score. He'll head to the bonus. Bobrov with his second foul. As we're pretty much 5 minutes remaining on the game clock. Shengelia makes them pay, brings Georgia to within 10. 5 minutes to play. What a 5 minutes of basketball we've got ahead of us now. Sanon gets it up over the half. That's the mismatch against Shengelia. Hands it off to Lukashov. Into the corner. Shot no good. Rebound now pulled down again by Borjanadze. That's his 5th rebound of the game. Shengelia gets the score. And Ukrainian nerves, if they weren't jangling, they are now. Their lead is trimmed to 8. Sanon Uses the screen. Shengelia flops. Rebound for Bobrov. Gets the score. What a big play at a big time for Ukraine. There's the drive by Sanon, and Shengelia needs to be careful because that's clearly a flop. But Bobrov doesn't care. Just gets the score. It means so much at normal times, but for the Ukrainian team it means so much more at the moment. Ukraine's lead back out to 10, 4:14 left on the game clock. Have Georgia got anything in the locker to fight their way back into this one? Bobrov, nothing but the bottom of the bucket with the bonus point. Coach Bagaskis almost running every play with his team now, sweat pouring down his brow. He's certainly feeling the pressure. Janadze just throws it away as he missed communication with Shengelia. Under 4 minutes to play. Realistically, Ukraine for me, maybe two buckets away now from securing the win, but remember the win might not be enough. They ideally want to win this game by 6 points or more. That's what they want to do. Sanon drives inside, doesn't get the score, but the follow by Bobrov is good. He is just getting it done all over the place right now. Shengelia looking to do it all on himself, gets tied up with Sanon. Jump ball's going to be called. Possession arrow is in favour of Georgia though, so they'll get the ball back. Great play by Sanon here. Shengelia looked like a certainty for the score. Sanon just wraps the ball up with him. Here's Bobrov following again. And a little soft touch from the right hand. The fingertips gets the score. That was his score. He had one play on the previous possession. Bobrov up to 14 points, 7 rebounds, but maybe most importantly, he's 5 from 6 from the field. What a whipped pass that was, but the jumper's no good. Janadze is off target. And for Lukashov now, it's just a matter of slow the game down. Limit the number of possessions Georgia have, and you'll probably win the game. 8 seconds to play with. Lukashov now, 5 seconds. Inside, Lukashov gets it back but loses it. Shengelia picks it up, brings it up over the half. Not enough urgency for Georgia though. Just wandering and strolling up over the half. They need to put some pace, some energy behind the game. Oh, another ball thrown away. And Georgia have not been their usual selves in this game. You have to credit Ukraine a lot for that. The defense that they've played has really knocks Georgia off their usual routine. Drive inside, foul's going to be called. That one's on Berishvili. That will send Kachenko to the line for 2 shots. Easy call for the officials on that one. That puts Georgia into the penalty as well now. So if you're Ukraine, I'm burning the shot clock as far as I possibly can, and then in the last 5 seconds just creating some kind of driving lane to the basket in the hope that you're going to draw the foul, because that will earn you a trip to the free throw line. Crowd now getting behind the Ukrainian team and the Georgian team. It's the second. Ukraine's lead at 14. For Georgia, they might not think they can get back into the game. Oh, McFadden rattles home what looked like the near impossible 3 as he was receiving attention from 2 Ukrainian defenders. Just run the game down for Ukraine now. That's the order to Lukashov. Don't make passes like that. There's still 10 seconds on the shot clock and he throws it away. 11-point lead for Ukraine. Remember, there's 2 milestones. Firstly, yes, Ukraine want to win the game and Georgia want to win the game. But secondly, if Georgia can't win the game, they want to make sure they lose by no more than 4 points. McFadden Just slices his way to the bucket. McFadden makes it look easy to get scores. He's up to 19 points now. Sorry, 22 points for McFadden. Into the final 2 minutes. Ukraine's lead is at just 9. Pass to Bobrov. Has it knocked away as he was about to throw it down. Gincheladzzi called for the foul. I think he'll head to the bench on 5 fouls. Bobrov will go to the free throw line to earn his points instead. Yeah, easy call for the officials. Gincheladzzi just hitting the right arm of Bobrov. As you can see, Bobrov could only get one finger on the ring from that right hand. Gincheladzzi fouls out of the game. Georgia look like may pick up the loss here on the road. Bobrov hits the first of his 2. And the second. Some of the young fans in the stands are enjoying what they're seeing. Timeout's been called by Coach Zouros. He's 1 minute 43 seconds away from the unexpected loss. It was always going to be a close battle, but most people would have had Georgia as the favourites. But the passion, the heart, and to be fair to Coach Bogatskis, the game plan that he's put in place for Ukraine really has led them within 100 seconds now of the win. Let's listen to Coach Zouros' timeout.
Let's go. We pass. Then Misha. Hand off. Misha, fake that you go and you turn and you screen the 1. Toko will screen the 4. Then with full speed out to create separation from the 5. Go.
You can see what it means to Ukrainian players. They have come with so much determination from the opening tip right through to where we are now. Not one of them putting anything less than 100% on the floor for the entire game. And alongside the game plan they've had, that really has been the big keys to this one. For them holding an 11-point lead with under 2 minutes to play. They want to close this one out, and they also want to win the head-to-head, so they want to win by 6 points or more. They are 1 minute 43 away from achieving that. Bedishvili hands it back to McFadden. McFadden trying to create some space, nothing there. Shengelia has it knocked away. Lachenko working hard to force Shengelia away from the basket. Sideline ball for Georgia. They've got 0.7 seconds on the shot clock though. Not sure what they can do with that. That's going to be the end of the shot clock. And Ukraine continue to bully Georgia around. 1 minute 27 now. And Ukraine lead by 11. For them, it's just time management. Run the clock out. They don't even need to take a shot, really. For them, don't move until the final 4 or 5 seconds of each shot clock. Just hold on to the ball nice and safely. Don't make any rash decisions. Sanon for 3. That's a big shot, and surely that closes out the win here for Ukraine. Their lead extends now to 14. Not only do they look like they're going to win this one, but they're going to claim the head-to-head. Shengelia with the spin move draws the foul from Bobrov. Shengelia will head to the free throw line, but is it too little, too late for Georgia? Beautiful quick footwork from the big man. Sanon, what a game he has had. 8 points, 6 assists. Do bear in mind, he is 22 years of age. Have to love the way he's approached this game. So much heart and show. Emotions running high, but he's channeled them in the right direction. Shengelia hits the second after missing the first. Takes himself to 21 points, but some of his teammates were missing in action today. Lukashov now hands it back to Petrov. And Ukraine are just going to run the clock down. What else can Georgia do? They've got nothing left to give. No other game plans inside to Bobrov. He's going to draw the foul from Shengelia. And Bobrov will head to the free throw line. Pretty straightforward call for the officials. Shengelia seems to have hurt his hand. Certainly in a lot of discomfort there. Bobrov misses the first of his 2 free throws. Hits the second. 35 seconds to play here. 14-point lead for Ukraine. They've come away with a big win at an important time, not just in their basketball history, but their country's history as well. Tkachenko picks up his 4th foul. That one sends Sanadze to the line for 2. Been averaging 11 points a game, Sanadze. Today, he's only on 8. Make that 9 points now. In fact, make that 8 points with both makes. 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Handed inside. Foul's going to be called as Tkachenko gets hammered by Bereshvili. And Ukraine now are 21 seconds away from the win. 21 seconds to go till they come away with a big win and a big step forward in their campaign to make it to the World Cup in Asia next year. Their eyes will start to turn as they have a huge game against North Macedonia on Monday in North Macedonia before taking on Spain next Thursday back here in Riga. Are Georgia going to try and score? They are. They drive to the basket, has it stripped away, and it'll be a Ukrainian ball, and that kind of sums up how the day has gone for Georgia. As we see plenty of Ukrainian fans in the stands, those young guys and girls enjoying what they've seen, being inspired by what they've seen. Timeout has been called. I'm not sure for what purpose. 9 seconds remaining on the clock. Coach Bagatskis calls the timeout. Oh, I'm sorry for the bad language you heard from Shermadini there. Passion's running high. I think the Georgia team might be a bit frustrated that they've called a timeout at this stage of the game, and they don't really see the point in having a timeout with 9 seconds to play. Ukraine are clearly going to win the game. Shermadini's absolutely fuming. He needs to be careful. Officials will control him if they have to. Shengelia, the man of reason, the man of some sense, pushing his teammates away as Coach Bagatskis calls the timeout. They want to run last play. You have a feeling they might come out to some tough defense from Georgia. Maybe a little bit too physical. Let's hope it doesn't spill over. That would be a shame to ruin what has been a physical game, but hasn't really overstretched the realms of just physical play. Shengelia still not happy, and the Ukrainian players explaining to him maybe what the timeout was for. They want to get another score because it's all about points difference for them. That's what it might come down to, and it's a fair point. Lukashov now, caught up in Coffin corner, hands it away. Clock down to 4, Sanon for 3. That one comes up short and the putback is no good. But it doesn't matter because the result is huge for Ukraine. They've come away with a big win here in Riga. Still conversations going on between the players and a frustration from Georgia. I think that really masks what they're frustrated at really, and that's their poor performance here today. Final score here in Riga, a monumental result. Ukraine 79, Georgia 66. Here are your shooting statistics from the game. Georgia doing a great job at times, but you look at their free throw shooting percentage, their three-point shooting percentage, it was always going to be difficult for them to win a game with those percentages. There's still discussions going on court. Doesn't really do Georgia any favors, but the leading scorer of the game was McFadden with 22, Shengelia with 21, Bobrov had 17. Another player in double digits was Mihailuk with 16 points. Still frustration being shown on the court. This isn't painting Georgia in very good light at the moment. I think it's pretty clear that Ukraine were trying to increase their basket difference to help their chances of qualification. Coach Zuros hasn't done himself any favors either by refusing to shake hands with Coach Bagatskis. It doesn't make them out to be very sportsmanlike, as Ukraine applaud the fans who have come to cheer them towards this monumental win. And with the way things has gone, you cannot begrudge them the win. They came with a game plan, they executed the game plan, and they come away with a very big win, a very important win, as they look to try and push themselves towards World Cup qualification. That moves Ukraine to a 2-2 record. It pushes Georgia down to a 3-2 record. Georgia with one first-round game left at home to Spain on Monday, whilst Ukraine have 2 first-round games left away in North Macedonia on Monday before they return here to Riga to play Spain on Thursday. There's the Ukrainian fans getting high fives from the team that have just done the job on the floor. Plenty of inspirational role models in that yellow and blue jerseys as they give out plenty of high fives to the fans. What a game we've had here. Maybe didn't end in the most highest of spirits. Some poor sportsmanship on show in the last few seconds of the game, but a good game nonetheless. Here are some of the best plays from the second half of this World Cup qualifier between Ukraine and Georgia. And really, the third quarter was a turning point for this game. In the first half, Ukraine looked to try and outscore Georgia, looked to bully them around, really. And then in the second half, Ukraine kind of changed the order of things and were trying to just stop Georgia from scoring. And that's where their focus went. They limited Georgia to just 10 points in that third quarter, and that really sealed the win for them. Plenty of big plays, though, throughout this Ukrainian roster. 2 players in double digits. Bobrov with a big 17 points. He was 2 from 3 from distance as well. Alongside his points, he had 8 rebounds. The only other player in double digits was Mihailuk, even though he got in foul trouble early on in the first half. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds in the game. A big performance for him. For Georgia, some of their big household names didn't really turn up. Shermandini ended up with a 7-point, 11-rebound haul. Double-digit scores for McFadden and Shengelia. McFadden with 22 points, 4 rebounds. Shengelia 21 points and 5 rebounds. But it wasn't to be here in Riga for Georgia. As we see some of the highlights of Ukraine closing out this win, and this big win, and it truly was a big win for Ukraine. Here's one of the big plays as Tkachenko just puts a poster into the highlight reel. Wonderful pass from Sanon and the shovel off from Lukashov. You can see how much it means to them, this result, and it is a big result. Remember, this isn't just about getting through to the second qualification round. This is about going all the way through to the World Cup in Asia next year, and that's going to take a lot of wins. As I say, for Ukraine, still 2 more first-round games to go against North Macedonia on Monday and Spain on Thursday. For Georgia, they're through to the second qualification round already, but they have a game against Spain back in Tbilisi on Monday. And they'll want to win that one, because otherwise it's going to be a big ask for them to qualify through, because remember, all of the results from this first round carries through to the second round. Let's see if we can have a look at the standings. Georgia top of the table for now with a 3-2 record. Spain, who take on North Macedonia later today, have a 3-0 record. Ukraine now on that 500 record, 2-2. North Macedonia still looking for their first win in these qualifiers. But what a game we have had here in Riga today. A physical encounter against 2 tough teams. What a spectacle the crowd have been gifted. Tough times for Ukraine at the moment, having to play their games on foreign soil due to the conflict, but they've done their countrymen proud. They've inspired those here in the arena and those watching at home as they came away with a very physical battle and a big win. Moves themselves to 2-2 in the standings, gives them big chance of them progressing to the second qualification round. The final score here in Riga is Ukraine 79, Georgia 66.